Today will secure some of the very strong profit I made over the last 3-4 weeks, and I told you all about it up ahead. I told you how I sold my gold position after almost doubling my money in gold and went very bullish into the stock market, increasing from a low position to the high 80s because, as I said, I thought everything was taken out of concepts for the trade wars and that there was a unique opportunity. And today, before markets open, the futures are way up because China, US have reached a minor deal, a trading pause. Stock markets, as I can see, Nasdaq is up 3.6% right now, the futures. And that just means that my investments into, for instance, Tesla on very low, Nvidia on very low, and a lot of other stocks are now paying highly off. They've been paying off for the last 2-3 weeks, but today they will really pay strongly off, and I will secure some profit. And you, my friend, you are listening to the StockInvest.us podcast, Trading Tips with Jim, as we're heading into week 20. And here is a little pre-warning. Next week I will not give the podcast as usual. I will go for a 9 days holiday to United States, have a nice period up in Chicago before I will visit New Orleans. Hopefully have a boat trip in the Mississippi. We will see. Probably will tell you a bit more about it when I am back. Anyway, I told you, for those who follow this podcast, I told you what I thought would be the case. And my best case scenario was 19,000 for Nasdaq if and when trade deal agreements with China were reached. And that seems to be the case today. Nasdaq is currently sitting just under 18,000. With a strong push today, it will hit 19,000. The question is, will it continue? I will get back to that very shortly. Just have to stay tuned. And by the way, if you haven't liked the podcast yet or subscribed, do so. I would really appreciate it. Have to give a little context for the new listener, and if you are a long-time listener, just be patient. I told you how I regulate my investments into market up and down as I see or into what I believe will be the bigger trends. And I reduced my portion in the stock market down to some 30%, slowly starting to increasing. And when the tariff wars were on the worst and media was as negative as it could be, I pushed it all up. I even sold my gold position. I got into gold at $1,600, sold it at $2,950. And put them on in the market instead, and gold went, my target was 3,500, gold went up to 3,400, but is falling back. I was selling while the dollar still was strong against the euro, so personally I am in a slight profit from that sale now compared to what I could have had if I had stayed in gold. And if you are sitting in gold, I think gold is a very nice place to be, but my guess, and I mentioned this before, is that gold will have to retrace a little bit back. We will get back to a more stable world, and the reason for the gold will slowly disappear. And this also marks something I told over and over again in this podcast series, which now is on the 6th year. Often you can just do the opposite of what media says. And media have been screaming lately that gold should go higher. When I said gold will go when gold was 1,600, I remember big banks were even saying that it should go down to 1,200 when it hit 2,000, and I said gold will just continue upwards. They put their targets around 1,600. Gold pushed all the way up, as I said, to 3,000 plus. When I sold, media started to push out gold. You should buy gold for everything you have because gold is the most safest investment. I, as I said, got out of gold trying to read the bigger trends. And if you do understand a little bit about what the United States and the current administration is trying to do to control the deficits, to control the debt situation, And you can just go back to last year's season 5 podcast and even at 3, 4, 5. I spoke a lot about what is happening with BRICS and how the world is being divided and how these things now are playing out and how that will affect the dollar in the long run. What the United States currently is doing is trying to reshape that a little bit. Now media write that the dollar is under threat, but the dollar has been under extremely threat, especially under the last US administration with the split of the West and the East as they did, and the strong building of BRICS, which was exactly the reason why I went into gold. I gave you all these explanations of why and what would happen. What US is trying to do now is level out the playground for tariffs, to make sure they can handle the deficit, and that will be the one thing that will make people still stay in dollar and keep the dollar somewhat strong and as the preferred currency, because money were moving away from the dollar. Very, very important things, and in the mess and all that media where Trump derangement syndrome, TDS, is the biggest of them all. A lot of the things that you read is colored with pencils, dipped in red ink, had nothing to do with reality. I used the chance, as I often do when these things happen, to go hard into the market. I did, and I am actually raking in a very strong reward. The week ahead of us, we'll start with this exceptional good start, at least for the beginning. I'm not sure it will last all day, but except the beginning now today on the Monday of this week will be extremely strong. I will take some profit in quite many of the shares. I will not sell all of them. I might just reduce some of my exposure into them to build up a little bit more cash for the next good event. And here is the thing. Nasdaq is currently overbought on the relative strength index. It can continue very, very long in overbought, probably will do, but we will at some point have a natural reaction down. The good thing is that there is very much support on the downside, and we have strong buy signals in general for the long term. And I believe markets will overall for 2025 be very, very good. There is nothing in the charts telling me right now that it will be differently. I think we will set new highs on Nasdaq, but for the week ahead, I will not be surprised if we start off very strong and then drops a little. It can go both ways. We can have 10% week at Nasdaq, but it can also be that we just start extremely strong today and end the week on a lower note. I will not be surprised anyway, since it is impossible to predict 100%. I can just say that it's overbought. The volume is not extremely high, but there is a room for falling, especially at the end of the week. I bet on the higher chance and having cash, but I will absolutely not sell out of all my good positions. I will just reduce a little because remember I bought Nvidia 88 currently. It seems to be coming out at 122.23 today at opening. Tesla also bought extremely cheap. Tesla is 320, I think I saw pre-trade now, and that is insane good profit in a very short term, and you shouldn't play only short term profits, because these come and go. It's more about the long term. So I will probably even out the playing field a little bit, see, because now I'm very, very high in exposure into the stock market. I want to reduce that a little bit to use other good opportunities. It seems like, but it may not be the case, but it seems like we get aggression down around the world. We will see if Russia will agree to the peace deal during the week. At least the ceasefire, and then later on the peace deals. India, Pakistan is de-escalating, and even Asia and Middle East is calmer than in a long way. So we are in a situation where things can be absolutely good. The main point and the one thing that I wanted to take away from this podcast, mentioned over and over again, I believe inflation will go totally down in the cellar. It will be extremely nice moving forward. Energy is the main element which I've been pointing out. Oil, because the huge fall in oil prices will cause the production cost to decrease a lot, and now we will even out the playing field in across the borders, and that will create even better flow of goods. I can only see a decade, in my opinion, of strong growth for the West. Oil $62 was up over the last few days, but I believe it will push more down. We are on a downturn, and now it's just having a natural reaction up, but I think it will continue down, contributing to much cheaper energy, and that cheap energy will benefit us in absolutely every single way. Gold, which I mentioned, is down to 3,229, still very high, but down from last week. 10-year Treasury yield is the one that we like to follow. 437 is slightly going up. It measures what people believe. And if I am correct that inflation will go down, everyone is screaming that it will go up. I'm saying it will go down. If I'm correct that inflation will go down, there will not be as good situation having money in the bank. Some money, they will just flow back to the stock market again. We will see who will be correct. During the week, we will have some numbers. We will have consumer price index numbers on Tuesday. They are expected to come in 2.4% year over year and 2.8% for April. Personally, I'm not sure these numbers will be off. Like, I think these numbers will be much correct. April can surprise, coming in lower than expected, and first in May we'll see some of these tariff things, but then other things should speak for themselves. We will also have we will also have core producer price index numbers coming on Thursday, I believe, and they are expected to grow by 0.03%. So we'll get some inflation numbers, and these things, I think, now, let's say that just to get more concrete of what I think the market will start super strong on Monday, could follow into the Tuesday, but with inflation numbers, a lot of profit securing, just like I will secure some of profit. I think many other players will secure some profits. I think the rest of the week can argue for a little lower. We will have on Friday, I believe, we will have University of Michigan's consumer sentiment, just telling what consumers think. But again, just if you, whatever news you read out in mainstream media outside, let's say Fox News, everything else, more or less, have been hammering how bad things are going to be. It's been headline after headline how bad things is going to be, and these things are scaring the consumer. Of course they are. But consumer will see that they are wrong, because now they will see tariff trades being settled. They today, for instance, they will wake up to the message that the sitting president wants to cut the cost of medicine, prescriptive medicine, so you can get cheaper medicine, and they already heard that he might tax the richest of the rich more. So they will just see that whatever media said, most of it was just scary, lying propaganda. And when they start to see these things and actually feel the real effect on their wallet, because in the end of the day, that is the one thing that will make you happy, is when you see the real effect on your wallet, and lowering gas prices, lowering egg prices, and everything going in the right direction will sway the consumers. But for Friday, it should probably come into expectations, but I believe the consumer sentiment will increase over time again, and we will get back that strong confidence in the market. Anyway, these are some main events. Consumer price index numbers, there will be some quarter results, and these quarter results will be Monday.com, today on Monday, nice one. Rigetti, Plug Power, Hertz will also be today, while Honda, JD and Under Armour will be on Tuesday. On Wednesday we'll have Sony, Cisco. Thursday we'll have Walmart, Alibaba, Deere and Company. Applied Materials and Take-Two will also be on Thursday. Among these, Alibaba is maybe the one that is expected to move the most, expected to move plus minus 5.5% on the quarter result. Very happy to see that last week I told you which stocks would have the quarter results and got a little into depth how they would move. Very happy to see most of them were actually doing. They took out the full swing. Palantir was one of the stocks that did exactly what in the terms of swing, how much it would swing, was one of these stocks. And you can make good money if you're able to guess the right direction. So will Alibaba surprise or will it not? I have to rush on, not to make it a super long podcast. We will quickly have a look at the buy and the sell signals. I will give you the 5 stocks which are flashing buy signals, and at the end of the podcast, very quickly into the $1,000 challenge where we try to grow $1,000 as fast as we can. And just to repeat, if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't liked, please do so. I would really appreciate it. Buy and sell signals, they are across all the board 32%. It's a little down from last week, but Nasdaq fell by 0.27% last week. Dow Jones down 16%, and S&P 500 was down almost 0.5%. So all 3 indexes was down. And of course, then the buy signals follow a little down. Nasdaq down at 15, and this is the good thing, because that, as I told you last week when it was 19, there is still room for a lot of the Nasdaq stocks to continue upwards. So even if we get into a very nice start today, selected Nasdaq stocks should do good all week. There is plenty of room for a lot of Nasdaq stocks to do good moving forward. And I know most of you probably are sitting in Nasdaq stocks. News at 31% buy signals, London 35%, Oslo Stock Exchange 33, Frankfurt 49. They are all getting on the little upper end, and it's usually a place where things starts to go a little sideways. Tokyo in Japan 39 after climbing week after week. Most of them, except Nasdaq, tells me they are ready to go a little bit more sideways, whilst, as I said, selected stocks on Nasdaq will do very good. And if to give a guess, given that now prescription medicines will be a lot cheaper for the end consumer, it means that someone have to cut their losses at some place, and it will not be the end consumer, it will be the producer. Then a lot of biotech stocks will get hammered during the week. Should be an obvious one. I think that a lot of money will flow back to underdogs and future possible companies at Nasdaq. Which one these are, I'm not sure, but of course some money will go to the really big stocks like Microsoft, Nvidia, etc. But I think also we'll start to see pick up in smaller companies, Take-Two, etc. I think many of these companies now finally will go up. And you are sitting in a lot of penny stocks, which you shouldn't do. You should maybe sit at 1, 2 at the best. I believe also a lot of penny stocks might have a good week. And speaking about that, I feel a little sorry because I know most of you who are listening will not enjoy the super opening like I will today, or have enjoyed the last 3 weeks, because it's about greed and fear. And I know how it works when the fear is all over and you're sitting in red. You fold your cards at the very bottom and you're not able to get in the upturn. You're too scared because you think it will be short term, and when you get in, when everyone will start to write that the stock market is in a good condition, everything will be fine, then you will start to invest again just to be in a flat market or a slightly downwards market. Just have to try to read the big lines, see how it goes, and in my world, short term, we are getting close to where it should have a natural slight slow period, a little up and down, maybe a little down before we move upward again. So short, not so short, medium and long term looks very strong in my opinion. So you should invest accordingly, and then try to figure out, so what are these big next things that are coming, and try to be in the right trends, of course. So we had buy and sell signals. We told a little bit about commodity. I told you what I think will happen in the market in the week ahead of us. Here are 5 stocks which gave buy signals last week. And the 5 stocks I told you that gave buy signals from my system, which I'm currently trying to make better and better week by week when I have time for it, were Ferrovial, Excel Energy, ADMA Biologics, Coca-Cola, Euro-Pacific, and Goodyear. Among these stocks, we know that all 3 major indexes fell. 3 out of the 5 fell within the market. 2 fell within normal distribution. One was down minus 0.64%. That was Goodyear. Another was down 0.14, which was Ferrovial. ADMA Biologics fell heavily, while Excel Energy went a little up, and the same for Coca-Cola Euro-Pacific. In total, the portfolio fell more than the stock market, mainly driven by ADMA Biologics. So 2 out of 3 was green. Not sure I'm very happy. And just so you know, in this, I only do like this. Buy on Monday open, sell on Friday close, just to give you an idea how it moves. In the natural world, sometimes I buy some of these stocks. Usually I buy very early because 10:30 is usually the best time to buy stocks for some odd reason. I usually buy around these times, and selling Friday is very often sometimes good, but I have stop loss. I would never have the kind of loss in ADMA Biologics. Like it fell, because it will be a stop loss to reduce the losses. Still, if I bought all 5 of them, and even with stop loss, there would be minus for last week. What about this week? Here are 5 stocks which are flashing buy signal. Doesn't mean that they will go up, but we will see how they will do during week, and I will continue to tweak the system to make it even better. Ferrovial stays because it's still flashing buy signals. BioCryst is a new company coming in instead of ADMA Biologics, also flashing buy signals, cost around $10. Now we'll see how we'll do. Then is Monster Beverage. They are flashing buy signals, currently sitting around $23 if I'm correct. No, I'm probably not correct about that. Forget that. But Monster Beverage is one of the companies that is flashing buy signals. Coca-Cola is still flashing buy signals, so that stays. But this is the Euro-Pacific one with the ticker CCEP. Currently around 89.36, which is flashing buy signals. Electronic Arts is also flashing buy signals, currently sitting with, as I said, with a buy signal. And that makes for 5 stocks flashing buy signals this week. I'll read them very quickly again. Ferrovial, FER, and it will be BioCryst, BCRX. It will Monster Beverage, MNST. Coca-Cola Euro-Pacific, which is CCEP, and then it's Electronic Arts, which is EA. All of these 5 are flashing buy signals, and I will tell you how it went next. Not next week. I will be away next week, but the week after, I'll get back to how they did. Last thing on the agenda before I will wish you a beautiful day is the $1,000 challenge, where I try to grow $1,000 as fast as I can, and it's been an absolutely challenge. I am, to be honest, very disappointed. First off, I have done some of the mistakes which I know very well, which I shouldn't do. We were doing very good. We were up around $4,000. Currently, we're sitting at $3,207.38. So yes, absolutely up. But sitting as long as I have in NEO is not good. You should cut your stop loss, not be sitting. But I argue so much why. And to be honest, now with the China trade deal on, NEO should probably do very, very strongly this week. Bought it at $5.1 when I thought it was super cheap. Now ended Friday on $397, down 22.16% since we bought it. We need that one to go in real green, and as I said, week over week, that I didn't see any real candidates, because in this $1,000 challenge I need to push it very hard, very fast, if to reach 10,000 and later 100,000. So to do this, we need to hit those who goes really much. Yes, I could have gone into Tesla, I could have gone into Nvidia, but in this thing, I tell you up front before I buy. So if I sell NIO, you will know what the next stock is before I buy it, because I will tell you in the $1,000 challenge. There is no chance, as I see it, that I will sell NIO this week, because I think it will be a strong week for NIO. Actually, I think it will be a strong next 3 months will be very strong. Hopefully I'm not wrong, but I will not be surprised if we see double and triple in NIO. That was the plan all along. Now the situation is much more present for these things because of 90 days trading pause. NIO doing better and better in general, fundamentally. And I just think now probably we will be right. That I will do what I was setting out to do very strong in NIO, so we can grow this portfolio much faster. Will I be wrong? Will I be right? It's absolutely hard to say. All you have to do is like follow and see how it goes, because I will tell you exactly how it is. $3,207.38 started with $1,000. Should be now 8-9 months ago, so it's already very long time. Will I manage 10,000? Will I manage to go from 10,000 to 100,000? All I can tell you that it's, as you grow, it's easier and easier to grow more. This has to do with a lot of things. Among other things is that we will split the risk. Instead of one stocks, now I'm playing one stocks to try to grow it as fast as I can. We'll go into 2, etc. and we'll do a little bit different strategies. Still, we will have to take huge risk, but we will get back to that. In the meantime, I just hope you will have a perfect week. I hope you are as lucky as I am to wake up every single day to see greener and greener numbers in the portfolio. And if not, there is absolutely a chance that we can turn things around, but you have to do the job. You have to change your mindset, go from that very short mindset to longer mindset. Never play with money you cannot lose. Make sure to have stop loss and try to live by it. It may feel wrong, but doubling down is the worst you can do, meaning that when you have a loss, you keep increasing into the shares. There is always a new day, and a new day offers a new chance. Until next time, just have a super time. Bye.
Welcome to StockInvest.US Stock Analysis. We remind you that trading involves a high risk of losing money, and that you should speak with a financial advisor before buying or selling any securities. You should not base your investment decision upon StockInvest.US. By using the information, you agree and are held liable for your own investment decisions.